Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to do what you should be doing. Now, I've already hit share, but now I'm going to tag people because it's something about sharing and then tagging or tagging while you share. I personally just messed it up and didn't tag people the first time. My bad, my fault. Hey, but I know how to go back and rectify this situation and fix it. Have you ever done something you meant to do something else? But guess what? Let me tell you, you have opportunity to fix that in the long run. Go back and fix it and do things and call it a day because it is just that a day. It is a day that the Lord has made. So I'm going to rejoice and be glad in it. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Leadership Live with Dr. Anita and friends. I'm so excited to be back here with you in 2022. Back in 2019, I did it all by myself. In 2021, I did it with 49 weeks with 54 guests. And here in 2022, we're taking one topic over a month and really digging into that topic. So that means we'll have approximately 12 guests. It may be less or more. I like to I got friends. And my friends do things and they know things. And so more than one of them might show up in a month. But hey, whatever it is, it's going to be what it is. We're killing 12 topics. Like we're drilling down into 12 topics this year. And I'm so excited about it. We talked about finance. We talked about marital and parental leadership. We talked about public relations. We talked about differences, like people's differences in leadership. And this month, we are talking all about parenting professionals and really parenting professional children. We are parenting professional children. So these are your children who do all kinds of things. They could be dancers, they could be actors, they could be athletes, they could be musicians, but just these kids who do a little something different, they're just not your typical kid. They do a little bit of different, a little bit more, and probably have you doing all the things and hoping you can keep your life together and your hair growing out your head. And if it's not, cut it all off and make it real beautiful, shining up, moisturize your scalp. But neither here nor there. I know y'all like, some of y'all like, lady, that's cute, but who are you? I am Dr. Anita, and I'm an educational leadership strategist, which simply means that I love to work with aspiring and growing leaders to help them become more authentic in their leadership, empower their fellowship, and at the end of the day, have a greater impact on the world. And I am also the founder of the Refining Life, a 501c3 nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide you with experiences to have your mindset shifted so that you can lead a more positive and productive life. I'm also the author of Stepmom, Trials, Tribulations, and Triumphs, as well as While You Are Sleeping, the Perfect Children of All Ages book. And are they available now? Yes, they're available. I'm so glad you asked. Hit me up or go to dranitaweb.com and you can find the things there, but just hit me up. Slide in my DMs. We can talk about this. I can get you some books. I am also recently the editor-in-chief as well as the founder of Lead Like You magazine. If you go to leadlikeyou.com, you can get all of the past issues, and the 5th issue is getting ready to come out. But read the first 4, honey. They got some good stuff in it. You get all the learning and the things. I am a wife. I'm a mother of 4. I've been a state and local and national beauty queen. I'm a speaker, a mentor, a mentee, a minister. I love doing the things and I love Jesus. It's all of that and more. But what I am also really excited about is being the host of Leadership Live and getting to bring my good friends to you to talk about all the leadership things. So this month we're talking about parenting professionals. And let me tell you, honey, I got the expert of the experts coming. You ready? Are you ready? If you've missed the past 3 weeks, you're going to go back and catch them. Not right now. Did you hear now? Watch this now. But go back the other 3 weeks after this. Here she comes. Here she is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my friend, Latoya. Can I tell y'all, I have loved it. She had jammed with me. She hears the music.
I hear it. I feel it.
Latoya, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so excited.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And I cannot believe this is our 4th week, our final week. This month has flown by. But there's some people who weren't here the first 3 weeks, so I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce yourself to them.
Well, hello. Good evening. My name is Latoya Faustin. I am the executive director of a nonprofit called She Built This City. We focus on engaging youth, women, and marginalized communities in construction and the maker trades. I am also business owner, small business owner, Stay Ready Consulting Solutions. We focus on creating creative collaborative solutions for small businesses and nonprofits. Um, I also, why I'm here today, I am the mother of a child actor, a momager, and I am excited to share with you some of the things that I've learned in this very short, intense amount of time around advocating, how you can be your child's advocate, and not get in the way, not be the adversary. And so I'm ready to dig into the topic tonight.
All right. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So, okay, so let me tell the people over here. So we are on Instagram live right now. You're gonna hear some things, and then but what I want you to do is go to Facebook. Yeah, they hear me live on Facebook too right now. So listen, you're gonna get some tidbits, but you're just gonna get tidbits because then we're gonna go off and just go over to Facebook. All right, so let's figure out try something new today. So let me tell you, this idea of being an advocate or an adversary for your child is something for me that goes well beyond this world of parenting professional kids. It's just having kids.
Period.
And for those who don't have kids, it's really the idea of advocating or becoming an adversary for anybody who's in your fellowship.
Yeah. I would also say another dichotomy to consider is equipping versus enabling and what that can look
Mm.
like. I think if outside of the parenting realm, as a leader, are you equipping people to be successful, empowering them with the tools they need to do this work on their own? Are you enabling them to need you for the rest of their life? I think that could go both ways for leadership outside of the realm of parenting, but also specifically within parenting.
Oh, absolutely. Because here's the issue. And we're gonna delve further past this, y'all. I promise. But I think about this. So when you're getting your kids up in the morning and telling them it's time to get ready to go to school, and you're wondering why they aren't getting dressed, are you wondering why they aren't going to brush their teeth? But the moment you get up and go with them, they all of a sudden have this ability. Well, it's probably because we have not empowered them to really be able to do these things on their own. Think about when you give a team something to do. All right, team, this is the goal. This is what we want to get done. Let's meet this. Yes. And you have a rah-rah meeting, because don't mess around and have a good rah-rah meeting. Everybody's like, yes. And everybody walks away really excited. And then you come back to the meeting again next week and say, okay, where are we? And they're not anywhere because you weren't standing next to them. So that's that kind of idea of enabling versus empowering, and really getting them together, because even in that regard, you are being an adversary within your own camp.
Yeah. Yeah. I think equal to that, Renita, is I can't think of the quote. It's a really good quote. Something to the extent of like, when you have a room full of people who agree with you all the time, you've created an environment where they cannot disagree. And so it's one of those spaces where if people aren't willing to make mistakes because they know they're gonna get in trouble. I think that goes for parenting as well as leadership outside of the parenting realm. You have to look at the environment around you and see what your role as a leader has enabled. Is like, well, are they not trying stuff because they're scared of making a mistake? Because they know if they make a mistake, I'm gonna be down their throat. So you have to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah, so is the need for adversity within your camp, but not for you to be the adversary.
Absolutely.
That'll preach all by itself.
I'm about to say, I think you just switched topics over. You put on a different hat. It's like, what is this?
Yeah. Honey, that might be a whole different show for a different day. But let's really press in this topic, because by trade I'm an educator. So, and I've been a school administrator. I've been a school assistant principal. I've been a curriculum facilitator. I've been a school principal. And let me tell you, honey, the advocates versus the adversaries, when they show up, determine whether what kind of Dr. Webb they were gonna get. If you walk in this door and you're already, from the moment you arrive, and I think that this is going to touch on how we work with our professional kids as well. But from the moment that you arrive, you are showing whether you're an advocate or an adversary.
Right. Right.
From the moment you talk to somebody on a telephone, you're showing whether you're an advocate or an adversary. And it's those things, it's like the whole idea of the first impression
Right.
that can make or break a situation for
Yeah.
yourself and or for your kid. So I know you all have been in a lot of firsts lately, and just thinking about the professional world, I think about where we just left with my daughter. You know, almost every person in that room, sans maybe two or three, we had never seen in life, and yet our desire was to walk away from that situation and have new connections and new opportunities.
Yeah.
But it was about the moment we walked in. How do you handle that first moment?
It's an excellent question. And so when you asked it, I thought from two perspectives. One from me as his mother, second for him as a child. I would say I do this for parenting in general, but specifically with acting and modeling, I try to prepare him for the unknown as much as possible. For kids in general, that's just beneficial. Sort of narrate to them, like, "Hey, we're going to go in this room. We're not going to know people. It's okay to say hello. Like, it's okay. Like, just sort of letting them know what's happening. I'm sure someone's going to ask to take your picture. Like, we need to say yes this time. Like, just because he would be like, he doesn't put up the no pictures. I'm like, what in the world? He's just been doing this for like 6 months. But like, we have to talk through what that looks like. So I think a part of that, preparing for that first moment, is helping him prepare for the unknown, and also preparing myself for what that looks like as well, and what hat I'm going to need to wear on his behalf. Um, I think that whether it's within education, as his mom advocating, talking to the principal or his teachers, there's always going to be something that you as a parent have to keep your eye on first, to ensure that you're connecting with the right people. So I think it's about preparing him mentally for the space, but also knowing that I have to be on my A game as well about who I need to be connecting with. So for instance, he was in Fashion Week with your girls, were in Fashion Week as well. And at the end of it, a designer came up to us like, I want him. I want him in the show. I was like, all right, boom. Here's his headshot. Here's my card. You call right here, this number. Do you have a card? Like, just, you have to be ready for
Mhm.
to make that next move, because it could be right there within grasp when you walk in.
And so I love what you said, just kind of with this idea of preparation. You had to walk in the door ready for anything, and you had to also prepare him to be ready for what may be. Like the
Right.
idea of when some people may ask you to take your picture, say yes.
Yes.
Because if nothing else, we are very fortunate. And I think that some people see this as misfortune, but I see it's very fortunate to have kids who know their own mind. They know what they want, they know what they don't want. Which at 3, 4, 5, even 11, sometimes it's not always working their favor.
We've had
Oh,
that. Yeah, we've had that a few times. I think I can say that I do that now because we've had situations where, so for instance, we were in LA. He was at this competition. He didn't get chosen by the actual panel to be in the end of season, like end of show runway show. He didn't get chosen. But one of the fashion designers was out in the lobby and saw him. Was like, "Oh, he's cute. Come walk for me." And the hiccup that is, no, thank you. I said, "Whoa." He's like, "No, no, I think I don't want to. I don't want to walk." And like I had explained to him after, I was like, that woman was trying to get you to walk for her in the show. Here you go.
right.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Not feeling it.
So we like I learned that I have to have those conversations with him because he's thinking his own things. He's like, the show was in the room. I'm out the room. I'm in the lobby. This is not time for that. And so I
Right.
had to learn early on that he has his own agenda. He has his own way things are going to happen. And he and I have to have open communication. I didn't think I had to do that so early in his life, but making
Oh
sure our
yeah.
plans match your plans, sir. Like this is what we're gonna do.
He's ready. He's ready for that part of life. And but the thing is, when you have kids who are destined or called or purposed to be in this part of ministry for the kingdom, which I do believe that these children are called because they are to be lights in this industry. They're going to be equipped with certain things before we were ready for it. We also live in a time where kids are given a lot more choice and opportunity to advocate for themselves than we did when we were children. This is not the seen and not heard generation.
Right. Not at
This
all.
is the no, I don't like green beans. I prefer asparagus generation. And we got 4-year-olds and eating sushi. Like that, they are of a different breed. Or as
Yes.
the old folks used to say, they've been here before.
Yeah. Absolutely.
um, and so when having opportunities to walk in as their parent and to prepare space for them, and to truly serve as advocates for them, we have to help them serve as advocates for themselves. But they can't do that if they're not prepared for it.
Yeah. I think it is both the preparation, but also valuing their voice in the process. And that starts with you. So I think we talked about this last week. Um, he had gotten a call back for something, and his agent was like, okay, he can do his monologue or he can do his commercial. And I presented it to him. And he was like, but I don't want to do either one of those. I want to do my jokes. I'm like, nah. He said you can do like your commercial or your monologue. Those are your two choices. And he was adamant. He was like, I want to do my jokes. So I emailed this agent. I was like, he actually wants to do his jokes. Is that okay? He's like, oh yeah. So like I had to understand that, like, listen to him. I can advocate in that way. That may sound simple, rudimentary, but I was in the mindset of this is what your agent said, little boy. This is
Right.
what we're gonna do. But I took a moment, just like this. Yeah, he's comfortable. He wants to do this. Let me ask. And he's like, yeah, do it. And he did amazing with it because he was comfortable with what he chose. And at 5 years old, we've empowered him to have a voice and know what he likes. And I have to learn to listen to it and translate because he has an opinion this early on everything. And again, I didn't think I was going to have to give up that right so soon of choosing, from wardrobe to hair to like all these things. When we do auditions, he has a preference of a take. He wants me to submit to his agent. He has stuff he wants me to edit out, and I have to listen. Like, and I think it's one of those things where let me tell you, I don't have to listen. I choose to listen
Right.
because I am trying to steward the gifting in him so I can empower him to do it like on his own. Like you have good choices, you make good choices, you have good taste. You know your art and your craft. And it's crazy to say that, but he will be like, no, I like that second one because I forgot to laugh in the first one. All right, then. Here we go. Let me just get out your way.
And some people would say that, oh, those kids are being mannish. I'm using old people terms because that's what they would say. They're being mannish, or they're being fast, or they're being smart in the mouth. And it's not always that. In the vein of empowerment, really helping these kids learn how to function without us, even though we will fully be there for them. And so providing us a certain space to advocate in a way that doesn't take away their voice. I think that that's huge, and I love that you brought that up. But in order for them to express a voice and have a voice in those types of situations, we have to foster that before and in spaces outside of that.
Yes.
So it's important that, yes, they can pick what they want off the menu. Don't get me wrong. When we go to restaurants, I definitely never mention the grilled cheese that's on the menu, because what I'm not going to do is pay $5.99 for a grilled cheese. So until she learns how to read, the 4-year-old won't even know that there's
That was
grilled
an
cheese on the menu. But she does always have options.
Yeah.
And what I'm hoping is that it fosters in her, and the 11-year-old, honey, she been had options. We have to preteen. But with the 4-year-old is really hopefully getting her in a space where she's used to having options, so she will always desire that. So she will put herself in situations where she has options.
Yes.
As much as possible, because I never want her to feel like especially should she go in the same direction as her sister and
Right.
really decide she wants to be in this professional realm early, that she ever has to say yes to something. No, there has to be an option.
Always.
And I think that that is a part of the idea of advocacy.
Yes. I agree.
Creating that
100%.
area of belief. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, but then I think about, okay, so there are some people who are brand new to this realm of life, and whether they are AAU basketball players or they're really they all of a sudden their child just started flipping across a mat for an hour, and they were just doing all kinds of things and fearless and jumped on a bar and flipped around it 88 times, or they started doing 96 fuertes and they didn't even know what a fuerte was, or somebody saw them and they got in front of a camera, or they got on a stage and blew it up, and all of a sudden they're, this a parent thrust into this world. And sometimes in the idea, in the thought that, okay, what you're not going to do, because anytime a sentence starts off with what you're not going to do, we ready to fight. What you're not going to do is that to my child, or I want to always do right by my kids. Sometimes we walk into situations all the wrong way.
Yeah.
Have you ever witnessed that, or even done it, or had that feeling like it's getting ready to go down?
Yeah. So I want to make sure I understand the question around. It's like I need to protect my child.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I might have mentioned this one already. Oh no, there's one that popped up in the mind. So we were on set. We were on set, and it was some downtime, and he wasn't in the later scenes. And the director and the lead actress was getting kind of heated about something that this actress was not happy with. And the lead actress had taken a liking to Thaddeus, and they were in there playing. And so Thaddeus was in there in the middle of it, and they were about to go at it. I booked it. I walked in there and said, "Hey, get my son, get my child. Y'all can do." And we go in here, we closing the door. Y'all have at it. Get my child. So it's like just staying present and listening to. I try to be respectful of the fact that this was his moment, and this was his special day. So I wasn't sitting there in the middle of everything, but I was always in earshot
Right.
of every single thing that was going on at every single time. I joke because his very first movie, I will not get any kind of screen credit, but I was in every scene because I was behind a car, like ducking down. I was like upstairs in the upstairs room. Like when he ran upstairs, I was there to meet him. I was all over the place, like behind a bush.
Anybody want to see Latoya? We'll pull up the film and just see. Can you see an eyeball?
Posing like a tree. Here I go.
They see it.
But I had to ask for that. Like, I think you have to find the line. I know we're going to talk about that tonight of like being fully present versus being extra. And I think that is where you have to find that fine line of like, I'm gonna need y'all to know I'm always here. I'll give you another example. Another example. Same movie. We were on set for about 5 days, and the video person or the mic. I don't know all the names, y'all. I'm sorry. The person who's in charge of the audio had the microphone on my son, and something happened to the microphone, and they tried to blame him for breaking it.
Uh-oh.
And I asked, I said, "So when exactly did this happen?" And he was pointing to X, Y, and Z, tried to explain it, and he was trying to throw my son under the bus to the director because something that he didn't do right. I put him to the side and I said, "Can you please explain to me what you were trying to say in that room?" Explain that to me, because it sounded like you were trying to blame it on my son and he did nothing wrong. So, oh yeah, no, 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 no. I was like, okay, because I want to make sure that he doesn't have a reputation of tearing up stuff on this
Right.
expensive set. So I need to make sure that moving forward, you don't tell this story in a way that puts my son in blame. Like, if it was I would handle that. But I was with him the whole time and nothing like that happened. So I need to make sure that moving forward, when you explain this, he is not the culprit in this situation.
But okay, so that's a situation that could have quickly gone left, but it was your word choice and your demeanor and your tone I think
But I
that
had been above board and this was the last day of taping. I had been like everybody's friend, like, so that wasn't how I came to the set, like, boom, it's
right.
me and you. No, that is not how I've been in the back. We're going to fun, laugh, joy. He's fed, he's happy. I keep him quiet like y'all asked me to. What you're not going to do is act like he was a problem when he has been a little angel on this set. Like, so that's where I had to quickly be like, let's have this conversation right now.
Right. Right. But you nipped it in the bud. But also the other piece of that is what you just said. And in a way, it goes back to what we said from the beginning. It was preparation. You prepared them for any possibility by making them love you from the beginning, which it's easy to do. It's you. But what you did quintessentially was build a reputation and a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes as leaders, both in this realm and any other realm, sometimes we forget that one of the very first things we have to do in any situation, should we want any progress to be made, should we want to reach any goals we want to reach, should we want to book whatever we want to book, should we want whatever, is the idea of reputation and relationship. If you can walk in a room and light that joker up, everybody's like, wow. Because I'm telling you, all Latoya got to do is smile. See, there it is. And she does that. The room gonna light up, and you light up the room, and your positivity, and not in a fake way. Find some type of joy in you, and I think that some people just they tapped out on joy, like they gave up trying to find it. And so my recommendation is, before you go into any situation to do anything, is that you tap into your joy source before you walk in the room, unless your joy source hurts other people. If it's one of those, find a new joy source. But find your own personal sense of joy so they can be some level of light that's shining from within you. So when you walk in the room, it's genuine, when you smile, and people are attracted to your positivity. As parents, you have to be attractive. Like, not, I mean, you also need to wash. That's a part of advocacy. You need to show up a certain way. Let's be real here. I ain't saying you gotta wear your heels and your two-piece suit. But what I am saying is that you have to give a certain level of presentation so that people will expect that from your offspring. Yeah. But you have to be attractive, so you also are, your kid is attractive. Because let me tell you, your kid can be the best actor, gymnast, dancer, athlete, violinist on earth. And if you suck, I promise you, that's where your adversary will walk in the room.
Yeah.
That's adversity. That's negative adversity. That's not going to help anything. So it's that idea of don't ruin it for your kid.
Yeah. And there have been, I'm a part of a few casting groups on Facebook. And every now and then you'll get a director or someone saying, like, and parents, let me tell you something. There are parents who've lost jobs for their child because they just don't want to deal with that parent.
Right.
And I think, it's been in the news about the athletes, the basketball players whose dads are well known for their involvement with their child. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes people can look at that and say, we a package deal,
Right.
I'm coming with my child and you got to put up with me. And just know that there's another cute little kid, that was number 2 choice, right, that got a mama or a daddy or an auntie who's like, yeah, no, we good. And they will choose that you will get a reputation and doors will be closed for you because of how you engage with leadership. And again, y'all heard what I didn't say it to some people, and I've had other conversations. But they know that I'm about my business and that I'm going to do whatever is best for my child. At the end of the day, that makes them money. So they know not to talk crazy to me or Thaddeus, but they also know that I am not going to talk crazy to them. But I will expect certain things, like don't tell him that, if you don't do well, you're going to lose it. Like that. That's not how we speak to him about this. If you have any issues about that, you speak to me and let me explain that to him. So like there's clear boundaries I've made, but it's been in respect to a point where they know we about this and we're gonna make it happen. But what you're not gonna talk to him any kind of way. You're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. So I think there's a way to do both. Right. But you can't get in your child's way. You have to let the professionals do their job. You can't be in there directing scenes. You can't be making adversaries of other parents. In the group, you can't be talking bad about other people's kids. Like there's just some things that.
Can we take a pause there? Okay, so let's be real here. not every kid has the same source of talent. Not every kid is nice and polite. Not every parent is nice and polite.
Right.
You're gonna get ready to run into a bunch of different people. And this is not just in child world. This is anywhere.
Yeah.
Some people suck. They just are awful. Because they and a lot of times, let's go take it back to this, because they lost their sense of joy. Mm. Okay. So but it's some people who are just awful, right? What you cannot find yourself doing is being a part of the petty betties. You
Yeah.
cannot be in a part of the gossip group, because let me tell you, if they're going to talk about other people, they're going to talk about you.
Right.
And especially when people are jockeying for the same types of things, and don't let your kid really be special and a light, honey. They will smile in your face. What the song say? They smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. The backstabber.
Backstabbers.
It's real. And so if you're going to give them something to talk about, give them something like, man, I don't even, she smiles so much and it gotta be fake, but it don't seem fake, but I don't know if I want to like her. Like if they're just angry people, let them be angry, let them be haters, let them do what they do, but don't give them the ammunition or the fuel, one, to continuously have you a part of a negative conversation, or on the other hand, be able to go to talk to somebody else who would have the fate of your child in their hands, no matter what they
Right.
do, and give them any fuel to say why you or your child shouldn't be chosen and theirs should.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think it's about creating, yes, be example for others, but most importantly, is for your child when you're creating an environment of camaraderie. If you are creating that. So I think one of the things I've tried to do with my son is that we are cheerleaders for everybody there. We're gonna say good job. We're gonna yell. We're gonna high five. We're gonna go see them do their thing, and we're gonna make a friend when we leave here, regardless of what else happens. And I set that as his standard early on. He don't even really understand competition still. He doesn't understand that those other kids in the lobby, they were going after your role too. And maybe they don't want to play with you. I had to say that to him because he doesn't understand, like, well, why don't they want to talk to me? I just wanted to go here and play cards with them. Like they know that y'all are after the same role. That is just saw a friend and wanted to go play with another kid. And so like, but I want him to always be that way. But I had to model that with other parents and other kids. I'm like, hey, go ask them what's their name. Ask them, like, we have to be intentional about that so that you can create a child who loves what they do and are that light in and out of season, when they're with you when they're not.
Absolutely. And I love that thought. And because, our girls are in the pageantry world too, and different systems and different people are very different. And, I have children who at times, especially my oldest daughter, have walked around with rose colored glasses and caught the reality of, one, you're a little brown girl in this sea of nobody else being brown.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just, they don't know you, and you see all these girls who competed together forever, and they're all buddy and they're not trying to let you in their circle.
Yeah.
Or they saw you go on the stage and now all of a sudden, oh hex no. Because there's something about seeing somebody doing good that could make you question yourself and your own abilities. And
Yeah.
that sometimes quickly can turn, especially children, against each other. Or and sometimes it's the adults who said something to the child, watch out for that one.
Yeah.
And so sometimes this idea of advocacy is really having, unfortunately, to help break their heart before somebody else does. And that's even like in, are you going to get it? Are you going to make the team? Are you going to get the crown? Are you going to get the role? Are you going to get a part of the company? Are you going to make, whatever team? Like, is it going to happen? And sometimes you have to prepare them for the no. And I think we had this conversation, and I can't remember if it was offline or online, but we both had this conversation about what we know our children can do versus what they did. And we pre-broke their heart for something, and then they ended up getting it. So even in that, and advocating for them, right, advocating for them and their teaching, sometimes you have to, use you may not.
Yeah.
Because I said my child, I had her crying one day. Oh, so she had. I was like, "Oh, honey," because I saw the other kids. I was like, "Oh, there's just no way." She was like, "Oh," I was like, "You know what? Next, but let's learn from this. Next time, let's look XYZ direction. You'll have a better chance." And she was just this, and I really wanted it. I, I felt like the worst mother when I got the call next day saying that she got it. I was an adversary to my own kid. Had to build her back up. Bad. It was really bad.
No, I'm his worst critic, and like I never like the takes, and it's usually in the moment I'll say something, but then when I watch it back on the camera, I'm like, that wasn't that bad. What was I talking about? Like, it was actually pretty cute. Let's sit that way. and, and because I now know that after about a year of doing this, I just let him be. I just let him be, and I don't try to overdo anything. Just, hey, just do this, do your best. And that's what I tell him, like, do your best, whatever that means, whatever that looks like. And we're happy whether you get it, you don't get it. I am proud and happy of you when you do your best. And I don't give him false hopes. So like,
Mhm.
actually that wasn't good, you didn't do well, because I want him to always know that my yes means yes, my good
Right,
job means good job. I will not hype you up if you didn't do a good job. My love for you will never change. My um how do I say, my advocating for you, and you wanting to do this will never change. If you here, I'm here.
right.
But that one good. That one did not go well. And I'm gonna tell you
You
that.
might
So
want to scrap that and start over.
yes. So when I say that you did good, you know that I meant that. And
Right.
that's been something that we've established since he was little, even smaller. And I question it sometimes, but again, what I want him to say about his mama is that when my mama said I did a good job, I did a good job.
Good job. Yeah, it's real. And I think that, especially in this life, in this culture now where there's so many participation trophies and everybody did a good job. No, they didn't. No,
Yeah.
they I have my youngest daughter plays soccer. She made one goal between the fall and the spring seasons. But that one goal was celebration. I was not there because apparently she does great when I am not in attendance. Uh, but after the rest of the season, she played with butterflies. She was the ambassador for the soccer team. She spoke to everyone, both sides, all parents, all grandparents. Um, she ran sometimes. Sometimes she kicked the ball when she felt like it.
Yeah.
Do I think that she's going to be the next Mia Hamm? Not right now. Um, and so some days she just, chick, you sat in the grass. Mommy, did I do a good job today sitting in the grass? Not particularly playing soccer.
Yeah.
Do you still want to play soccer? Like, why are we here? Um, and so, though her team went undefeated the first half of the season and the fall, and in the spring they only lost one game. Their team did well. I'm like, your
Yes.
team, great. We got some things to work on, sis. Just having the honest conversation with her, I think it's advocating for her in that regard. I really want her to understand, like you said, that my good job means good job. You did great. No, you really did great. Like, this is not for play, and I never want you to discount my word.
Exactly.
Um, but I also want you to be honest with yourself, even when people give you false word.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, nope, that wasn't that good. Thank you for
Right.
saying that. But yeah, I know what I did
I can
today.
do better. I have to do better.
Yeah, honesty and advocacy, I think, go hand in hand. So, as we are rounding up on our time and thinking about this topic, or thinking about the broader topic of parenting professional children, if you had to leave everybody with something or some things, um, what don't you want them to forget, or what do you want to rehighlight?
I would say, in this role, whether your child is a professional or not, your role as advocate, um, could easily become adversary if we don't reflect and check ourselves on a regular basis. I think we are not above reproach. So get into the habit of saying, I'm sorry, to your child,
Mhm.
getting a habit of having that open, honest communication. Let them be honest with you. I think there's within our culture, African American culture in particular, we don't let kids talk back to us, and any kind of talking back is disrespect. You being smart. But allow them, especially when it's them, it's their job, like it's their career. Give them that space to say no, that they don't like something, and how to grow in that, because you are creating someone who can advocate for themselves. And there's space for you to learn in that. And I think that has been my biggest one. Thaddeus, if he were up here, he would be telling you about how mommy screamed at him the other night. His mama don't scream. Like, mama don't scream, but mama was screaming because I was over it and he was over it. And we talked about that. But we made a deal. Like, we only film in the mornings now, and we both got energy and we're not tired, and I allowed him to say, like, mommy, that scared me, or mommy, I don't want to do it when you do like that. Like, I had to allow him that space. I'm like, you know what, you're absolutely right, I am sorry, I don't want to do it that way either, so how are we going to do this different? And I think you have to make space for that, especially in this, when that child is bringing in income and it's like something where you have obligations. It isn't a one-way street. You are legitimately their advocate. You are not the talent. They are the talent. And you have to respect that. They're still a child. You're still their parent. But if you're in a space where they are bringing in income, they are the talent. And make space for that. And supporting them and achieving their goals. It's not your goal. It's theirs. And when that begins to change, you need to check yourself. Because then you get in the way. Whatever.
I love it. I love it. It is. They are the talent.
They are the talent.
It just took short story. When Ryan did her second commercial, one of the things they were trying to get a giggle out of her, and I just remember they were like, "Well, Mom, you can, kind of relax, go over there," because it was like 3 of them in the backseat with her. And all of a sudden, you just hear, "Talent wants gummies. You want juice? Talent wants juice too. Oh, Talent wants a cookie." Whatever Talent wanted, Talent was gonna get. And at one point in time, they sent somebody in a grocery store. We were in a parking lot by a grocery store. Fresh gummy. She likes the purple ones. Like, y'all, how long you gonna be back here? Why does she need all this? At the time, I don't know if she was 2. She may have been 2. Whatever Talent wanted, Talent was going to get. And if that, just to hear, they are the talent. She was the talent. And who am I to tell them don't give her no more gummies?
Yeah.
Even though I wouldn't have given her any more gummies. She got
like, you gotta laugh.
Some water. She had everything. And then they sent us home with snacks. I mean, they were like, I really like these snacks. Here, she's gonna want some later. They gave us some snacks. I'm like, I was in the commercial too. You didn't do all this for me. I guess I did my job the first time. And you said, yeah. But allowing them to have their time, allowing them to have their moment, allowing them to own this situation that is theirs, because later we're gonna want them to. It's the idea of training the child up in the way that they should go. It's a part of it. And giving them ownership and buy-in. That's what we want our fellowship to do anyway, so that they can run to the vision as well.
Absolutely.
That's huge. That's huge. And thinking about parenting professionals and all the things that we've talked about, it's a different kind of lifestyle. It's a different kind of world, but it also some of the basics of what we can put into any type of leadership situation. Mm-hmm. And so I love seeing how these skills transfer from one realm to the next.
Absolutely.
I am a Thaddeus fan. I am a fan, and I'm excited about everything he has going on. His future is so bright. He comes from this beautiful family. And because you are a package deal, I know that he will go far if he chooses to continue here. You are absolutely phenomenal. And I thank you so much for sharing with us this month, sharing some ideas that some people pay for, but some people would never know if they didn't have other people sometimes who are in their culture and their community who are willing to share with them. Absolutely. And I think that sometimes, especially in situations like this where our children are professional and go up against other kids, sometimes we forget that we need to share information, because what God has for us is for us.
Absolutely.
And the reason why we sometimes don't see more of us is because we refuse to share with us. And in other communities, they're so open because they feel like there's plenty of seats at the table. We need to
Right.
understand there are going to be more seats at the table for us. We
Absolutely.
don't. The more we show up, the more the higher the demand will be. I mean, let's be honest. And right now, it's hot. Diversity is hot.
Yeah.
And so let us not keep each other in the dark. And so I'm so grateful for everything you shared this month.
Absolutely.
Everybody out there, I hope you've enjoyed. If you hadn't seen the other 3 weeks and you just caught this one, or you even catching the tail end of this one, go back, watch all four. I promise you, even if you don't have a kid who's a professional, you will get wisdom and knowledge from this part of the series, from this topic, parenting professionals. I promise you, there is so much there. So go back, watch all 4 episodes, catch the rest of the year. Like go back to January. I'm sure it's May. You probably need to get your finances together. Go on back and remember we're having in January through May. Latoya, you just thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a
Thank
wonderful
you.
month. I look forward to seeing you soon because this has also encouraged our relationship. So
Yes.
I love you. I love you. Everybody out there. mm, As always, I'm going to encourage you to keep your leadership all the way live. And okay, so here's the deal. I'll have a little snippet moment with you next week, but we're not going to have a full leadership live. It's Memorial Day, and I'm going to encourage you to enjoy your people. We'll be back with a new topic in June. Know that I love you, love you, love you. See you. Bye.